This module explains the Beamer menu options in depth. Upon pressing the menu button, the cursor highlights the top program listed. Access the program selection by scrolling down with the rotary switch. Press the switch to access the Programs menu. At the top is an escape option that will take you back to the previous screen. The next option will bring up a list of programs that have been stored in the system. Programs are stored in alphabetical order, except the Standard program, which is always listed first. This program cannot be overwritten or deleted as it is a factory default. By scrolling down, you can access any program that was saved into the system. The arrow at the bottom indicates that there are additional programs on the next page. As you highlight each program, a preview of the settings comes up to assist with your selection. A program immediately becomes active on the main screen upon selection and also gets placed at the top of the programs list. Pressing the menu button or selecting Cancel will take you back to the previous page. The next option down is Overwrite Program. This function is used when a program has been changed and you want to save these changes under the original program name. An analogy would be the Save function on a computer. To demonstrate, we'll select the Argon Standard program and assume a surgeon prefers the flow rate at 0.7 liters per minute instead of the programmed value of 0.5. Scroll through the options and highlight the Argon flow field. Then, change the value to 0.7 using the rotary switch and accept the new value. The upper line will display modified to the right of the program name whenever any parameter is changed from the original ones within a program. To ensure that the next time the physician selects the Argon Standard program, it loads with a flow rate of 0.7 liters per minute, press the menu button and scroll down to the program selection. Select it and then scroll down to Overwrite Programs. Select this and then scroll to Save. Pressing Save will take you back to the main screen where you see that the Argon Standard program has a new saved flow rate of 0.7 liters per minute. Also notice that the modified indication is gone since we are now seeing the saved values for the Argon Standard program. The next option is Save Under. This allows you to make changes to a previously saved program, but then save the changes under a new name. Think of it as the Save As function on a computer. The original program will remain as is, and a new screen will appear that allows you to input any name you desire for this modified program. As an example, we'll assume that Dr. Smith prefers to use Coag when doing an EMR and doesn't want anything showing in the Cut section. We still want the default EMR program to remain for the rest of the doctors, so we will save Dr. Smith's settings under a new program name. Use the blue channel selection button to set the Coag values. First, we'll adjust the power to 30 watts. Then, we'll confirm the current selection is desired. Finally, we'll assign a foot switch to the program. We can remove the Cut function altogether by pressing and holding the Cut Channel Selection button until the Cut display disappears. Notice the modified indicator is lit because we made adjustments to the original program settings. Now, let's save this unique program under Dr. Smith's name. Begin by pressing the menu button, then select the Program selection. Scroll down to Save Under and select that option. This brings up a keyboard on the screen, so the program can be renamed as needed. Using the rotary switch, highlight the letters or functions desired to input the new program name. When finished, highlight and press Enter on the keyboard. The keyboard will disappear and the new program is now saved and shown on the upper line. Highlight and press Escape or the menu button to return to the home screen. Next is the Delete option. If Dr. Smith leaves the practice, his program can be removed. Highlight and press the Delete Selection option. This will show a list of programs. Scroll down to the desired program and select it, then select Delete. This takes you back to the program list where additional programs can be deleted. When done, select Cancel or press the menu button twice to return to the home screen. The next option on the list is Link to a Swap Program. This option can only be used with the dual pedal foot switch with Swap button. To set up the swap function, select the first program to be linked. In this case, it's the Polypectomy program. Next, select the Link to a Swap Program function. This shows the list of programs that can be swapped with. Notice the instruction line at the top states to select a different swap program to be linked with this program. To swap with the Argon Standard program, scroll and select it. Selecting Yes to confirm takes you back to the selection list. Notice that the Polypectomy program now has an A in front of it. This signifies that the Polypectomy program is one of two programs that are now linked to swap. Now return to the home screen. The Polypectomy program is ready to use. The black swap button on the foot switch switches the Argon Standard program. Notice that this program has a B in front of it. Each press of the foot switch swap button will toggle the unit between the A and B programs. If you have more than one pair of linked programs, it's recommended to name two linked programs with a similar program name. To unlink a swap program, first ensure that a linked program is selected by verifying that an A or B is next to the program name. Next, select Unlink Swap Program. Then select Yes, and notice that A or B has disappeared, signifying that the swap has been canceled. The last selection on the main screen is Setup. Scroll and select to display a list of setup options. The first is Interactive Language, which selects one of 5 different languages for the unit to display. Next is the Sound Settings, which includes 4 options. The first is the Activation Tone Volume. Upon selection, a constant tone is heard. Rotate the rotary switch to increase the volume heard during activation of the unit. The minimum volume is 40%, which is dictated by safety standards. After adjusting to the desired level, press the rotary switch to select this new value. Next is the Alarm Tone Volume. This works the same as the Activation Tone Volume, except the minimum volume is limited to 65% since it's more important for alarms to be heard. The next item is Audio Feedback, an acoustic signal that provides information about the bipolar coagulation process. The factory default for this is disabled because this function is not used in a GI setting. The last item is called Increase Volume. This allows the activation tone to increase in volume after a predetermined period of time. The factory default is never, because long activation times are rarely used in GI. The next selection is Display. This allows the brightness of the screen or preferred viewing angle to be adjusted. Brightness can be varied across a range of 35% to 100%. The factory default is 60%. Viewing angle allows the contrast of the display to be adjusted for viewing from below. This is useful if the unit is placed higher up on a boom, but the factory default is from top. The next selection is Menu Timeouts. Menu Timeout defines the period of time that must elapse before the system automatically closes a submenu and returns to the main menu or home screen. The minimum time period is 10 seconds. The factory default is 15 minutes. The second option, Passive Mode Timeout, defines how long the beamer permits channel field entries. Simply put, this is how long red frames will be available around the power or G settings. The factory default is 5 minutes. Shorter time periods may lead to confusion, as the clinician may attempt to make a change to a submenu setting and not complete it quickly enough. The next item, Neutral Electrode, controls the use of neutral electrodes by blocking or enabling certain properties. Select the Any Types item to define whether the unit will accept both single foil and dual foil grounding pads or only dual foil pads. The factory default allows both types. The Any Indicator item can switch off the graphical patient contact indicator for dual foil pads, which is displayed in the upper right corner of the display. The next item is the Automatic Mode, which contains the coagulation degree control. This has 3 options. The first, labeled BiCap Coag degree, sets the point at which the BiCap send-stop coagulation current automatically deactivates upon reaching a preset coagulation degree. This coagulation degree can be adjusted across a range of 1 to 9, with 9 representing the highest degree of tissue desiccation. The default setting is 4. Most clinicians use the standard BiCap current selection and hold the foot switch until they reach the level of hemostasis they desire. Then they release the foot switch. The Polyp Coag degree item is used to set the level or intensity of coagulation between the cutting phases when in Polyp Pulse Cut 2. Pulsed operation currents, or endo modes, alternate between cutting and coagulation. This setting allows you to increase or decrease the coag level independent of the G level set within the program. If a clinician increases the G level, it increases the coag intensity and also the cut duration. If a clinician prefers the level of cut they achieve on a certain G setting, but desire a little more or less coagulation than the G setting delivers, Polyp Coag degree allows for this adjustment of the coag level. Note that a current for modifying the Coag degree can only be selected if it's included in the program currently set on the main menu level. The icons will be highlighted in this section if they are included in the program. Otherwise, they will be grayed out. If you attempt to select a grayed out icon, an error will be displayed in the status line, and an applicable current within the program must be activated before adjustments can be made to Coag degree. The final item on the list is Papilla Coag degree, which allows adjustments to the Papilla Pulse Cut 2, or the ESD coagulation levels. The default setting for these modes is 3. Argon Mode defines whether or not to have the argon currents and Beamer Plus functions indicated at various menu levels. This allows demonstration of the Beamer Plus functions even without a Beamer Plus connected to the Beamer ESU. Deselecting the Argon mode eliminates related items in a number of menus, making them shorter and easier to use. As soon as a Beamer Plus is connected to the Beamer ESU, Argon mode is activated automatically. The next item is Hotline. It provides technical support phone numbers. Service is intended for service technicians only. To learn more about the unit, please view the next module.